Shannon Miller with the Miller Elder Law Firm.
Hi, I'm Star Bradbury with Senior Living Strategies, and we're having fun today talking about what seniors can do, especially what I like to call solo agers, to be prepared to a term that I love, age successfully. So I would like your legal advice, and then I'll throw my 2 cents in about what people can do if they really have a goal to age successfully. What would you recommend?
So let's talk about it. I like to think of there really being this continuum, right, as we age, and it's really things like we've talked about, which are things like, where are you going to live? Where are you on this continuum of getting sick and dying? If you're very healthy, obviously you're at one side. If you're close to death, you're at a different side. That sounds very depressing, but we're elder, people, so this is something we talk about a lot. We also talk about, as far as living, where would you want to live? If you are set, and most of the clients that I have that come in say, I'm set on dying in my sleep at home.
Well, I like to joke, and it's a little macabre, I might admit, that if we could all check the box that says, I'd like to die in my sleep, we'd all check that box.
Right.
We just want to go to sleep one day at maybe 90 and never wake up.
Right.
Although guess what? The fastest demographic in the United States today are the age group between 90 and 100 and up. The number of people exceeding 100 is astounding. And so we're living longer, and there's been a lot of buzz lately about what's called the longevity economy and longevity planning, because it's kind of, I think, the good news and the bad news. We're living longer, but we're not preparing to live longer. If you ask me the 2 biggest mistakes I see people make, they think they're going to feel just like they do at 70 or 75. They don't want to really admit that it's possible that they could lose their health or lose their independence. And the biggest mistake I see adult children making is they say, oh, my parents will be fine. My parents are fine.
Right.
My dad plays golf 5 days a week. There's nothing wrong with them. They underestimate how fast things can change. When you're in 80 or 85, you don't have that bounce back. You don't have that resilience. So I tell people it is possible to age successfully, but you have to be honest, you have to be realistic, and you have to have plan A and B and assume that life is going to throw you some curveballs. It's not going to stay the same. Yeah.
And I would add to that the assessment that you do. What if, what if I have a stroke and now my spouse, who already is sick, maybe with some other
and you can't
disease,
be the caregiver.
Right. You can no longer be their
What
caregiver.
If you can't drive anymore?
Yeah.
I'm fine until you're not. I had a friend, her mom was fine. Lived absolutely in great health. 75, had an event, a mini stroke that left her blind overnight.
Oh.
And so luckily her daughter was there for her. She helped her stay in her home, which is what she wanted. Had help come in, and then as her needs progressed, 5 or 6 years later, she was accepted and was ready to move into an assisted living facility that could meet her needs. So what I tell people is, if you were to say, how can I age successfully? I would say, look at these factors in your life. How strong is your social connectedness? Are you close to family? And if you're not, then build your social network.
Yes.
That is absolutely critical. Number 2, you'll love this, your legal documents. Do you have your living will, your healthcare surrogate, your will, your estate plan, your power of attorney?
Yeah.
Have you looked at what might happen especially if you're a solo ager and there's nobody there to help care for you?
Yeah.
There's things that you can do now. What about adapting your home? Don't wait till you fall and break your hip. Go ahead and modify your bathroom now. Right.
Put in the bars.
Yes, I have them all in my bathroom.
One thing that people do often is when they lose the ability to go up and down stairs, they can put in that adapter, a little stair elevator thing.
I just met with a couple who are putting in this remarkable hydraulic little elevator that just goes up one floor.
Yes.
They have the room, and it was probably more reasonable than moving.
Right.
So there are a lot of things you can do, and they didn't need it right now.
Right.
They were just being
checking it out.
proactive. So there's
key.
lots of things you can do to make your home safer. And 99% of people over 65 want to age in place. And I understand that. We love our homes.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to move.
Yeah.
But I will ask you, stay open-minded, because if you want to maximize your independence, it might just mean considering a move to a community that provides transportation, provides your meals, has 24/7 security, has a wonderful social life.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of retirement communities in the world out there, and if you haven't been to any, I think you'd be surprised. So stay open-minded and have plan A and plan B.
This is great. Well, thanks, Star, for chatting with me.